gate a lot of movement. So we're on a closed guard. I've got my cross shin grip, and his hands on the insides. And he's doing a good job of keeping the hands on the insides and not allowing me to get in there. See, the arms are on the ground, everything's good, he's tight, it can't get in there. So we'll put the left foot on the hip, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna bridge all the way up and over to my shoulder. And when we do that, I can bring my right arm behind me and create an opening between his arm and my body and allow us to pummel in. So you'll see the opening real well from this angle. As again, we get the shin, this foot's on the hip. Now, there's a caveat because your training partner is going to need to stand strong enough or stay strong enough for that foot to push on his hip in a way that it's like a wall. And he's going to need to keep the elbows down like he is. Because if he doesn't, there's no reason to do this. If I can put my arm underneath his elbow, I would definitely not need to waste as much energy turning than what we're going to waste. But we're going to say, you cannot get your hand under the elbow. Right? He's doing a great job. So I'm going to push off the hip. We're going to turn all the way over like we're facing the ground. And you'll see our angles, my body angle, is now lined up in a way that my hand can come right through. There's no way he can stop that space from happening aside from hugging my waist. He can't stop it with his arms in good position because there's going to be a hole open up because his arm is not around my waist. If he were to choose to hug my waist with his arms, well, then he did the work for me. That's not very common though, because they don't usually feel that space open up for your pummel until the hand's already in. So one more time again, we're gonna use our cross shin, a foot on the hip. We're gonna flip over, get the space, and bring our hand back in. Try to face the floor when you do it. I'm gonna bridge up onto my shoulder, facing the ground. There's the space. Now I can use one of my methods to clear the head and start looking for our guard. We've taken a look at some of the ways to pummel and bring our training partner down. We're going to continue with that. There's two that are very good that are wrist control bases. This one is, I call it the salsa, because I did salsa dancing in college, and this is a technique that was out of it, and it just happens to be one that we can use in the closed guard. So let's go over it, and I will say that with the gi, this one is much better. It's intensified, but it has its place here as well. So if I'm in the closed guard, and the scenario with the gi, this one's simple. It's when he's grabbed, he can be at full posture. It doesn't matter. I can make a cross grip and have enough grip to pull him down. Without the gi, not quite as efficient because we don't have quite as much pull on the arm. So without the gi, I like to say that this one is any time I can get a cross wrist grip with my hand facing him. So my thumb down, my knuckles up, then without the gi, this is a possibility. And there are a lot of scenarios that this creates itself. We took a look at if he's hand fighting me and he's grabbed my wrist. If I move in and grab his, I've just created that scenario. It could be that his elbows are down and he's not really trying to get his posture so much as just being very conservative. And then we're able to get a cross wrist grip. All kinds of ways we can get a cross wrist grip. It could be the hand is here. This is not a bad pass where there's a thumb, the grip, and the armpit, either thumb up or thumb down, and you need to go peel, grab, and then re-grab a 2-on-1 and get my thumb facing down and knuckles up. Any time that you can get this, then this salsa move is a decent one. What I like to do with my arm here is I like to attack the elbow. So I like my forearm to attack where the elbow is, and I usually flex my wrist. I keep my hand facing the ceiling. The reason why I like to do that is because I need friction and I need to have his elbow bent. You know, there's a bent elbow. It is exceptionally hard to just yank an arm out of a bent elbow situation. That's why Kimura is such a strong position. When the elbow is bent, if Kyle tries to get literally back up and bring his arm out of there, so difficult because there's an angle. And how do I create friction is I pull I'm pulling and both arms apart. So I'm using a position where I'm pushing on this side and I'm pulling on this side. It creates a really nice friction. And then this hand shoots up to the ceiling. My elbow clears. We bring our hand over the head. And now I've hipped out and I can either go overhook, I can look to lock up my guard, or I can look to go into clamp guard. So again, this is just I call it the salsa breakdown, from a good way to pummel. No matter what the scenario is, I'm able to re-grab or lock a thumb down, knuckles up, and then we're able to make this tension. I don't know how easy it is to see, but there's a significant amount of pressure with my left arm this way, holding in place, while my right arm pulls. And that's going to make your friction. So if he's trying to yank his arm out, it's just not going to come out. And then the no-gi version, because the gi version, I like to shoot my